Good afternoon, Senators and Chair. I thank the committee for this opportunity to appear before you today. My name is John McAlister. I'm the Chief Information Officer representing K-12 schools, and I'm speaking to you today from the lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. And with the Chair's approval, I'd like to start the presentation on the topic of should the Australian Government enact an Artificial Intelligence Act similar to the European Union. I'll be arguing for AI legislation with a specific focus on the K-12 education sector, which is where I've worked for the last 25 years and where I see the issues caused by AI firsthand. Today's presentation will cover the issues in K-12 caused by AI, the arguments for legislation, the EU's AI legislation that newly enacted, and finally I will conclude with recommendations on how AI legislation could be realised and detail the research evidence. There are a range of AI issues in K-12 I want to highlight, from moderate to serious risk. Children are not yet skilled in using AI discerningly, and students become less engaged, less resilient, and poor problem solvers as a result. AI can too often be built upon data models that are biased, weighted, and can lack cultural sensitivity. Learning platforms using AI can also forecast and direct personalised student learning plans without teacher involvement, removing critical human oversight of their learning. These issues give rise to ethical problems such as AI being able to generate essays and answer exam questions, making it now tempting for students to use AI to cheat and produce results that are biased. Students can also form unhealthy virtual relationships with AI, given its lifelike interface. Lastly, serious harm from AI for children arises from the generation and distribution of deepfake images and videos leading to harassment, sexual exploitation, breaches of privacy, discrimination, and there is the silent pressures associated with constant surveillance and the lack of autonomy caused by AI monitoring. It is these latter issues that are difficult for professionals like myself to manage in schools. So what are the arguments for AI legislation in Australia? First, to be clear, there are no specific statutes or regulations that in Australia. There is no K-12 sector-specific guidance from government on AI regulation, and the Human Rights Commission has stated that the current AI regulatory environment is a patchwork that has allowed AI to proliferate and has not protected people from human rights harms. To date, the Australian Government has created plenty of safeguards, frameworks, guidelines and principles, but is yet to produce any tangible laws that prevent harms from AI. AI legislation is therefore needed to address the Australian Government's own commitments after signing the Bletchley Declaration in 2023 to ensure AI is designed, developed and deployed safely. That document recognised that voluntary guidelines are simply not enough. It also needs to needed to foster the relationship with business groups who in 2023 united to offer the government to work to manage the benefits of risks of AI, and to invest with schools who are seeking substantial funding for teacher training in AI use in the classroom. At the moment, schools are working from the bottom up with AI, whilst government is trying to set a vision that is top down. There is a gap with local solutions lacking the alignment to the vision. We need enforceable laws to bridge this gap. So let's look at the European Union's Artificial Intelligence Act. The Act is the first major law concerning AI in the world. It's essentially a product safety regulation designed to reduce the risks for humans from the use of AI systems. The Act classifies AI systems according to risk levels. Telling the EU Act specifically defines the use of AI in K-12 as high risk, with specific scenarios detailed and required behaviours to mitigate the risks. The Act has 11 annexes that can be updated readily to keep the laws up to date, and the UK and Canada and some US states are all considering AI laws similar to the EU. But most importantly, as of right now, millions of students in the European area are being protected from the harmful risks of AI by the introduction of this legislation. The AI Act is not without its critics, however, claiming the Act is difficult to make future-proof with the pace of law reform much slower than technological advances, that existing laws are adequate or can be tweaked to fit, that new laws stifle innovation, doesn't align with the marketplace where there are so many different types of AI, including apps and plugins, and that it's difficult to enforce. Given these criticisms of the European Act, how can we implement suitable legislation in Australia, minimising the issues raised? Well, AI legislation must be developed and enacted in Australia to make safe its use in schools. The EU's Act provides a great starting point for you as laws makers. Specifically, new AI laws should adopt the risk-based approach, ensure the risks rest with developers and providers, ensure some kind of certification system is deployed to verify AI is safe for schools, provide enforcement through regular auditing so we're not introducing new risks to children, enhance the E-Safety Commissioner's powers to ensure matters concerning AI in schools like deepfakes, discrimination and bias models can be reported to them, investigations undertaken, prosecutions initiated. We should ban all AI in schools that determines access and admission or steers a student's learning process without teacher oversight. At a practical level, notwithstanding the Commonwealth's Section 51 constraint to making laws that operate in state system registered schools, it is suggested that either there is a mandatory requirement that states develop their own complementary legislation to ensure there is uniformity across Australian schools, or implement Commonwealth legislation that is tied to specific AI funding for state school systems to be used for the purposes of teacher training, development of AI-safe curriculum and apps for use specifically in schools. The latter direction is recommended so that there is one set of laws and they come with positive action. Now, a word about key stakeholders who are advocating for AI legislation in schools, starting with students who we need to protect from the risks of AI, teachers who will welcome enforceable laws that protect their students and give them funding for professional development, parents who can be assured that schools and their children attend safe and schools with safe and compliant AI, school councils and departments who will be clear on how to manage AI-related incidents and what enforcement options are available. And finally, introducing AI laws allows me as an IT professional to choose safe AI systems confidently, know how to handle breaches, and be confident that I can do my part to protect students from the dangers of AI while at school. The following articles and reports have been used to assist with the development of this presentation, and they are attached at the end. And I'd like to thank the senators and the committee for their time today and remind them that the only firm legislation can protect students from the risks associated with artificial intelligence. And I welcome the opportunity to take questions and feedback. Thank you.